Yo, welcome people back to the Soccer PM podcast. You know what it is. You can hear the bass in my voice already. This is a European champion speaking. Your boy George, Durag Diaries, and it's only right that I introduce my fellow champion because let's have it right. I'm speaking a certain dialect that Arsenal fans don't understand, and it's called trophy. What are you saying, Dean? How you doing, my boy?
Bruv. Enjoy yourself, bruv. Pause. Listen, it's a good day. Listen, winning's not for everyone. Winning titles, winning trophies is not for everyone, bruv. So I can hear you loud and clear. And you're speaking my language, bruv. Speaking my language.
Definitely speaking your language. European heritage. That's something that we both have in common. Going in Europe, winning titles, and a special night it was yesterday. But look, to introduce the other side of the panel, they're a bunch of losers. I can't even lie. I do have to say it right. They are a bunch of losers this season. There's been plenty of teams that have won trophies, finished their droughts. Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Spurs. Everyone's finished their drought apart from that team, Arsenal. And introducing their first representative, our returning face, man like D. How does it feel, man? How are you feeling?
I feel okay. We didn't play yesterday, so I'm not really too worried. I'm not bothered why you're worried about us. We didn't play yesterday.
Okay, we're doing that
I'm
one.
not sure.
Nonchalant. He's doing the nonchalant.
No, you said something about I don't know, like something about Arsenal or something. I'm not too sure why we didn't play, so I'm not a bit confused.
Okay, we're going with that one, and then moving on to, his fellow compatriot Hooks, who definitely hasn't got a smile on his face. Looks rather distraught, to be honest. He's almost covering his face up, trying to like he's got a mask on right now. So, how are you feeling, Hooks?
Yeah, man, just is what it is. The immediate from down the lane, one something, man. It's just a dark day, man. So, to get me, just is what it is, man. Like, for me, any Arsenal fan that's not just vexed right now, or you get me, or in pain, or you get me, I don't know, man. For me, it will just always be Bun Tottenham. That should be in every Arsenal fan's DNA, bro. Their genetic makeup, their fiber, bro. It's just a bun them, man, innit? But maybe I don't know, maybe it hits home a bit harder for me, cause you get me. I live in North London and I'm just a bit closer to the ground than that, and just grew up just around Tottenham, and do you get me? Lived it. But yeah, I can't lie, it's very spooky times, man. But big up, George, man. You finally feel that kind of elation of winning a trophy. It's been a while, so I guess just prepare for the next 17 years to be more of the same, innit? So
you see people where usually we have, by the way, yeah, energy, yeah, super. There's none of that today. None of that. No energy. A guy with no bass in his voice, because guess what? He doesn't speak my language, yeah? As you can see, me and Dean, if you're watching, have got the shades on because we can't look at these guys in their eyes. They're not on our level. We look down on them right now. So, look, people, before we get into anything, we really do the celebrations and we talk about the game. Make sure you're showing love on all of our socials. You probably watch this on my channel, Durag Diaries, if not my channel, FamZone TV for D and Dean, and then Halftime Hooks, 4 Hooks, coming out every Thursday at 6 p.m. You can see it on the ticker at the bottom. Thursday at 6 p.m. But let's start there. Champions of Europe. Dean, I know you've said that you wanted Tottenham to win from before because obviously United rivalry and all them things. But did you actually think Spurs are going to get over the line and actually get the job done?
Before the game, I thought Man United was going to win it. But when I was watching the game, I knew Man United were bad, bro, but this was horrible. And don't get me wrong, you won it, yeah, no matter how the game went, yeah. The game was horrible. I even tweeted, I didn't see 5 passes. I didn't see 5 successful passes before the ball went out or someone got fouled. But It don't matter. You won it, yeah. That's all that matters, yeah. That's all anyone remembers. You won it, but bruv, you know what? You can't sack your manager. Hope you know that. After what I saw yesterday, bruv, like it's completely different talking about it and saying, yeah, even if he wins it, we sack him. That elation you had yesterday, bruv, you can't beat that. Like that's what trophies do. See that no matter what's going on, that's what trophies do. And you know what? I'm sorry to you, Hook. I mean, George, because I damn played your team. I ain't gonna lie. I was cussing. I don't care about them trophies. I don't want to be in it. But seeing your fans here, bruv, you realize just winning stuff doesn't. It could be Echo Division 8. Like it's winning stuff, bruv. It brings a different feeling, bruv. No matter what it is, bro. Because I do all the time. I always downplay silly little cups. I cuss the Chelsea fan base. But bro, being there, seeing what was going on is crazy. And I'm going on Monday to do the parade thing. So I'm gonna see a madness as well, bro. So yeah, I'm no longer downplaying cups. Whatever you win, bro, be proud. You get me? That's my thing now, you know. You get me? So yeah, big up, man.
We're going out there, parade settings. As you said, yours is on Monday, ours is on Friday. And I suppose we're the only teams that are going to be out. There's going to be a parade in North London, not your club. There's a parade in South London. There might even be a parade in West London. Maybe even East London if Leyton Orient do their job. There's parades all over the gaff. And Arsenal ain't celebrating any of them. So, D, let me bring it to you because you said your team didn't play yesterday. You don't care. Seeing Tottenham lift that trophy, be honest with yourself and be honest with us now. Look, it's a safe space. We're not on stream, you know. We're not live. You don't have to look at comments. It's a safe space. You can speak to us. Just say you wish it was you a little bit. Just say you wish it was you a little bit.
No, you know what it is. Yeah. It's football, innit? So it comes, it's sport. It comes around in cycles. Other teams have to win trophies. This is what happens. Teams win trophies. There was a time when Leeds were challenging for top 4, and now they're down where they are. And these things happen, innit? The fact of the matter is, this is just your time. You lot deserved it because Ange was braver than Amorim. Yeah. So you actually deserved that. He dropped Son. He just said we're gonna go straight, like fight and determination and hard work. And he dropped the captain, and so he deserves it. You guys, like, obviously we're rivals, but you don't deserve it because at the end of the day, you win trophies. Don't get it twisted though. I'm not so worried so much about the Europa League. I'm more worried about the Super Cup. I don't want you to win that one. The Europa League we can't actually win. We're not in it. But the Super Cup, I don't want you lot to win that. And for example, I don't want you guys to beat PSG in a one-off and all of a sudden we can't beat PSG, but you can, and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Little banter things that we can have between each other and between the clubs. More like that for me. But as a whole, I mean, you guys deserved it, innit? Ange's reached his objectives, qualify for the Champions League. You win a trophy on the way. He gives your club and your fan base something that you lot have not had for 20 odd years. Yeah, Champions League next year is a big thing because we'll start from scratch next year, so we'll really see how everything goes. But in the meantime, no one's really going to care. And you can't really complain to Daniel Levy anymore because there's not really anything to complain about anymore because you lot have won trophy now. So there's not much complaining that can be done because everyone that was online saying Ange should be sacked was wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, look. All right.
Yeah.
See, look, I'm going to have to start instilling rules into this show like we've had in other shows because clearly there's a certain thing that people have forgot, that there's an order. D, look at me. Remember, there's an order to things, you know. There's an order. I remember D used to, there's a certain show that we was on previously, but now we have Soccer PM. We can instill this order into this show. If you win trophies and your team's done something, you have to go in order and we have to speak in a certain way. You can't ask me questions. Is that what you used to say earlier? You can't ask me questions. Arsenal fans can no longer ask me questions. You can't ask Dean questions. You'll be answering questions from now. So don't be out here talking about, oh, this means this and this means this for Levy. It doesn't mean anything when it's coming out of your mouth because your analysis is invalid. You don't know about. Let me ask you a question, Hooks. When was the last time you won a trophy? Oh yeah, we're doing that. No. We're doing that.
I'm not doing this, innit? Like,
we're doing
I'm not doing this, innit? Like, all I know is you was wrong. That's all I know is you was wrong. And I think there's a very strong case now that Ange keeps his job. Very, very strong.
Keeps his job. He deserves to keep his job for the next few years.
Very
keep his job. He's earned keeping his job for the foreseeable future for the next couple of years, 2-3 years at least.
I wouldn't say two. I think look.
He ended your trophy. He ended.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest about one thing. Is if I was Ange, and I'll take away the bias. I'll take my Tottenham bias away from it. Tottenham haven't won a trophy. His objective would have been at the start of the season to either finish in the top 4 and get us into the Champions League or win a trophy, or ultimately do them both and you've pretty much exceeded your expectations. He's done both of them. He's got Spurs into the Champions League and he's won us a trophy. Now, if I was the board and Tottenham board and so on, I personally would look at the sustained fixtures across the league, how the season's played out, what 21 losses and so on and so forth. But you can't take away the fact of the black and white and the facts and the stats show Ange won a trophy. Ange got Spurs into the Champions League. So if they do decide to keep him, look, I've just won a trophy. I'm not going to be sitting there going mad, going get Ange out my club, because ultimately I'm in a good place right now. I'm worrying about bigger things. I've got the golden medal.
But next year, I've got the golden medal. But next year we're going to find out the real place, because next year you'll be entering the same competition.
That's next year's problem.
No, I know, but my point is, you're saying that if they decide to keep him, when really and truly, this should mean that he gets a new contract.
No,
he should be there for the next 3 years minimum, 100%. Just to say, go and do what you need to do. You've obviously proved that you can win trophies at a high level. So just now you don't have the pressure of that. This is what we got to do, and that's what you. No. There's no pressure on you, my guy. Go and prove your worth and go and do your thing. That's what Tottenham should really do, and that's what the fans should really back him with. If you're saying that he's still under pressure because of the league form, then you can't really. The whole trophy thing shouldn't really be a big deal. Then you should be saying, listen, at the end of the day, you've done your thing, you've proved your worth, you've ended our trophy job, you've given our fan base some of the greatest moments that they might ever see in their lifetime. Some of them. So go and do your thing now. No pressure. You got 3-year deal. No matter what happens in the next 3 years, go and do your thing. Let's see where we are in 3 years' time. It should just be as simple as that.
Go on.
I love this. I love this conversation. Yeah, because we're about to find out. Yeah. Who's really about this?
Wait, people. Remember at the start of the show how when Hook started talking, he was sat back, he wasn't really saying nothing, and now it's by the way, he's starting to get back into flow because he thinks he's in control, and he forgot to remember that there's an order to things. You're not asking questions.
Hey.
Let me actually. You seem to forget.
I'm making a statement.
This is Champion Day. This is a champion show. So, do you know what? Arsenal fans, we're going to have to put you to the side for a second. We're going to have to ask a fellow champion a question, because I need to, again, I feel like when we're giving the mic to Arsenal fans, they're talking about bringing out their loser mentality, talking about their no trophy mentality. Oh, you need to keep managers. Yeah, sounds a bit like Arteta. I'm not on your wavelength. Let me come to Dean. A fellow winner, a fellow champion, a European godfather, someone that I respect highly. Yeah. What do you think of the situation of keeping Ange at Spurs? Do you think because he's won a trophy, Spurs should keep him? Or do you think the sustained progress in the league has shown itself to be that he isn't the manager to take us forward?
No, I think that what he should. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think next year you see what happens, because you know what, obviously, because I'm Liverpool, I'll see it like this. Like, if it was Slot, he's won the league, But if he falls off next season, I'll sack him. That's what I'm on. You get me? Because we're a big club. I don't know where you rank your club, if you're still a big club or you're mid. If you're a big club, no matter what's going on, like if you won Europa, yeah, but you can't just win the Europa and fall off next season. Like you have to progress. That's what top teams do. They don't just win a trophy and then fall off. You get me? Like, because I'll let him stay next year and see where we're going. Because this should be like you've gone past, you've got the trophy now. Now where do we go now? You can't go backwards again. That's crazy.
Yeah, but what's backwards though?
Backwards is like finishing where they finished today. I mean,
you have to be in Champions League next season.
No trophy. With no trophy.
Champions League place.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The difference is now is that's why I said next year we're really going to see the difference, because now you're in the Champions League week in, week out, Wednesdays, Saturdays in the Premier League. You got to remember they finished 16th or 17th in the Premier League. All these teams in the Premier League are much harder than the teams they face in the Europa League. The team that they beat in the final, Man United.
Actually, just to clarify, and some of the teams that we did face, Man United, Atletico Bilbao, Champions League, Frankfurt, the team we beat in the quarterfinals, they're now in the Champions League next year.
You didn't play Bilbao.
Oh, we played Frankfurt. They're in the Champions League next year. So to say that teams that we're facing in the Europa League are going to be much harder is disingenuous. The Champions League does have that caliber. Champions League does have that caliber of team in it, but we're not guaranteed to play all the big teams. Remember, you just get a random draw. We could play a load of rubbish teams in the first couple rounds.
No, there are no rubbish teams in the Champions League. There are no rubbish teams in the Champions League. There aren't. In the Champions League, every single team, and even if it's not every single team at home, when you go away to the team that you think are easy, it's a chaotic atmosphere. The best teams that you face, when Man United face Bilbao and that level, that's a relatively basic team in the Champions League. That's a basic level that you're going to have to play against.
Like the team, like again, you're saying there's no rubbish teams in there. I'm seeing Young Boys. I'm seeing Slovan Bratislava, RB Salzburg, SK Sturm Graz, Crvena Zvezda. Like, what are we doing here? FB Stuttgart, Shakhtar Donetsk. There's no rubbish teams in Champions League.
Bro, you're crazy. You know what it is. You haven't played any of these teams.
I've played all these. This is the thing. I've played these teams. I've been in the Champions League before.
Not recently.
Yes, we have as of recent years. We was only in Champions League 2 seasons ago.
Bro, you play these teams. I'm telling you. So that's why I said next year. This is why I said next year is going to be the real test, because next year, all the teams that need to be where they need to be are where they are. So you will see when you play Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Man United, either Newcastle or whatever teams, they're going to be all in the same competitions, and you're going to be able to see whether or not the level that you're at, because the level that you played in the Europa League and the Premier League is not going to be sustainable, because you've got to actually progress into the Champions League places in the Premier League as well. It's not about the Champions League.
I get what you mean.
You can go through the Champions League, but I'm saying you actually finished 17th or 16th.
But you do remember last season, in the season that we played Premier League, we finished 5th, and what some would say was a better Premier League. If you go off the point tallies, where teams were, your team was better last year. A lot of teams were better last year, so we finished 5th in the Premier League.
A lot of teams were nowhere near better.
A lot of teams were, and there's a lot of teams that fell off that have got better. It's been an up and down. Some people will think this season's better. Some people think last. For me, it's neither here or there. It don't matter. But we finished in those positions before. I don't sit here and do injury excuses. You know me. I don't like to sit there and focus on that stuff, because ultimately you got to work with what you got. But the injuries do play a big part as to where Spurs were. Spurs aren't a 17th place team. We know we've got players much above that level, but we will need to be ambitious in the transfer window to show that we want to be sustained in that progress and actually stay at the Champions League level players.
The point I was making was,
you think the jump's going to be too big?
But what I'm saying is, when you're in the Champions League, which is what we figured out when we found out last year, which we struggled with, is every single game you haven't got time to rest your players. There's no such thing.
Yeah, I know.
If you play in the Champions League in the first round, in the very first game, it doesn't matter if you play a Sturm Graz. You're going to play your full team. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see Real Madrid play Sturm Graz and Mbappe and Bellingham on the bench because they're resting their players. If they were playing in the Europa League, they would probably rest a lot of their players. Like Chelsea are resting a lot of their players.
No, I get what you mean, but I think
the stages. That doesn't. The League Cup, the FA Cup teams rest their players. because they feel that they can still get through. In the Champions League, that does not exist.
No, I get what you mean. I don't deny that. But again, we played Thursday, Sunday football, so we're used to two games a week. Yeah. And again, I think our squad's going to be better prepared for next season. Having gone through the tough season we've gone through this year, the injury struggles, you know, the battles to get back from that. I think our players going to be in a much better place next season, fitness-wise, so we don't have as much injuries as we've had this year. Because as you see, going through that, coming out of that, let's know, you guys must know science, man. When you break down your muscles, naturally they get stronger over time when you're coming back from all these injuries. So I expect these players to have less problems next year, and us, it's going to be very key going to make those right signings to play at the Champions League level. But I want to take it just back to the game, because obviously you spoke a bit about should Ange stay. I hear it. Arsenal fans wanted to go straight to that. Like, they've got they should be concentrate, because they're moving a bit clumsy right now. Yeah, because they've got to focus on their manager and whether he's going to be staying or leaving, just like Man United need to be. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because we spoke about Ange, should he stay or leave. Ruben Amorim, what does this Europa League final mean for his job as Manchester United? Because he's gone down as literally the worst Man United manager in history at this point. He's got 9 points in 5 months. They've got continuously worse under him. He keeps saying they can't lose games and they're losing more. He actually thought they were the better team yesterday. Hooks, let me bring you in here. Ruben Amorim, should he be sacked?
Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? I was gonna try and make the case that he doesn't have his own players yet, but I don't even think you can make that case here to have only got like 9 points over the course of 5 months, to lose against Tottenham in a final for a European trophy, to blow your only route back into Europe, which I think was a fairly easy route into Europe, like to cost Manchester United Champions League football, the ramifications that will have in terms of like how they can maneuver in the market, all of the targets that they probably prepared for the summer, they may have to review them now, because now they're not as attractive as an outlet as oddly enough, a Tottenham. Like literally, Tottenham could go for the identical targets that Manchester United were going to go for. You probably get them because you can offer them the one thing that Manchester United can't offer, and players at this level want to be a part of, and that is the Champions League. Like, Ruben Amorim has done nothing short of failure. He's failed to like degrees that I don't think will be like forgotten for a very, very long time. And I feel like Manchester United are in a scenario where the problem that they have is their players are bad. Like, they've got a bad group of players. And they keep on doing this thing where they bring in a manager and their manager kind of adds more bad to the pot, and the food just gets worse. But then they leave and they bring in the new manager and he adds more food to the pot and it just gets worse. And now like the pot is overflowing and they need to simmer it down, but they can't because they don't have the facilities to change their scenario anymore because it costs them too much money. Like, it's like, you got to think, yeah, Rashford and Sancho still have to come back, and Anthony, into this group of players. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is so dark. But then, look, I think it's very damning when a manager openly comes out and says, if the board wants me gone, if the fans want me gone, I'll leave without taking compensation. Do you know how mad it is to say that openly to the public? It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, I think he deserves to be sacked. I don't think they will sack him though, because they're now short of money. And I know he said openly, yeah, no compensation, but contractually, Manchester United would be put in a very, very awkward position if they didn't give him compensation for sacking him. He could literally, like, yeah, he said, she said, don't really matter. The contract says you give me compensation if I leave, you didn't. And it's a whole court case that Manchester United don't really need.
Yeah, he done the save face thing. He's doing to the fans. Yeah, don't pay me behind closed doors. Yeah, lawyers chat to them, man. Like mind games. He's doing the mind games thing. So he can run it back. But no, there's no doubt about that. Look, I think there's definitely some acknowledgement we can have as rival fans and saying Man United's team was never set up for success this season. They were never set up to do anything big. They're poor quality players. The fact that nearly every player that's left them, Rashford, Anthony, Scott McTominay, they're all having better times away from the club goes to show you how damning the culture is over there, how it ruins players because everyone just leaves there and has a whole new lease of life. But Ruben Amorim has not done enough to change that. He's not done enough to try and work with the players he's got to get the best out of them. And although I think he should be sacked for how bad he's been, I do think that if they do sack him, they're just going to get into a vicious cycle of changing managers, which they've already been in for a while. So they're going to have to stick it out. There is one point of when you just have to stick with a manager through the tough times and somehow you come out on a better side. And Ruben Amorim might be that guy. They're probably going to have to stick it out of him. But it is a sackable offense for everything he's done this season. He is definitely a sackable offense. But bringing you in here, D, because obviously you spoke about a few changes in the game, what you saw. Did you see enough from United yesterday to suggest what Ruben Amorim said about them being the better team and potentially deserving to win?
Not at all. They had more of the ball in the second half, but that's the lowest quality final I've seen in a long time. That's the first thing. Second thing is, Amorim doesn't deserve that. Everyone keeps giving like little nuances and saying like things like he hasn't got his players and stuff like that. And every single situation, every decision that he's made has been wrong. You got rid of Rashford succeeded. You don't play in when he comes out and he says he does his harsh truth. Even when he took out Onana out of the team and then put in the other keeper, then the other keeper made a mistake against Tottenham. It was against Tottenham, I think it was. He made a mistake and conceded a goal. He realized, okay, I made a mistake there. He always comes out and he does this refreshing thing of talking honestly about the players, which is not helping because now you're telling everyone too much all of a sudden because you're losing every minute. So now what you say, no one's really taking it as if to say that you know what you're talking about. It's now, why are you talking so much? If you was winning, it'll be, it's refreshing, but you're talking too much all of a sudden. Every decision he's making is wrong. And they've also, the situation now it comes down to is half of their players are not old players. These guys are all young and new. I don't understand when we've got this thing of like this team is old and we need to get a whole new team. Their whole team is brand new. Euro is brand new. Dorgu is brand new. Onana is brand new. Ugarte is brand new. Hoyland is brand new. Even to the point where Xerxes, brand new. Even to the point where what's his name? Ahmad was in the squad. Who?
Yeah, De Ligt's not even old, is he?
De Ligt is, but even to the point where Ahmad came in the squad, he hasn't been playing. He's almost like a brand new player. All these guys are young, brand new players. So this whole thing of I need 10 new players, I don't understand that. He's got brand new youngsters. These are all young players. I don't understand. Even yesterday, you got Mainu and Garnacho. These are young players that have got meant to have energy. Bruno Fernandes, you got in your team. He's not an old over the hill player. Which the only players they've got that are supposedly over the hill is Casemiro. They got a couple players like Lindelof and maybe Maguire. Lindelof didn't play. Maybe Maguire. Who else is over the hill in their team?
No, there's not, to be fair. I mean, Casemiro, you could argue, but again, he's the one player. But the thing is, they've been telling us going into this final that he was the one that was going to get them through it. Mr. European Heritage himself, you know.
He played well yesterday. I thought Casemiro played well. And I need to know what players they class as over the hill. When you say Lindelof, Maguire, and Casemiro, who else are you taking? When you say
Lindelof
these
is
players are
good.
all finished and over the hill, who are you talking about?
You know what it is?
Luke
When I
Shaw?
say finish, me personally, I think it's just a lot of players aren't good enough. I don't think there's any players that like Luke Shaw, you could say, yeah, been there long enough. And but I think it's just a case of a lot of them just aren't good enough. Like they're young, they're new, they're just not good enough. All the signings they make.
Who's not good enough? How is Luke Shaw all of a sudden not good enough?
I don't think Luke Shaw has ever been good enough. He's been poor for years.
Not good enough. Not good enough for what though? You got to remember, this is the same
Champions League level team.
Who's the Champions League level team?
Man United as a club, not right now, but as a club, they're a Champions League level club.
Oh, I'm talking about to win the game yesterday. I don't know what are you talking about? I'm talking about to win the. I'm not talking about to win the Champions League and to win the league. I'm talking about to win the game yesterday. Those players on the pitch can win yesterday.
Oh, if you're talking about them winning yesterday, yeah, I thought you meant in general. Like, with regards to them winning yesterday, they were good enough to win yesterday, but ultimately Spurs were just better. And I think we had the better players on the pitch, the better team. We were better set up, like you said earlier. I think the way, and a lot of people, cuss Ange out doing high line for life and all this stuff. And he showed yesterday he doesn't always have to go with the high line. He actually went to plan B. We got tight at the back. Played a lot of direct passes, didn't try to play through the lines. You never once saw Vicario play out from the back. He said he literally abandoned all of his principles and done what he needed to do to win the game. And we've seen Man United do it against Man City last year in the FA Cup. They weren't the greatest team, didn't play the prettiest of game, but ultimately got the job done because that's what you need to do in finals. And that's what I think it's all about, is sometimes you don't need that tactical... you don't need to be like the tactical genius. You don't need to be Pep Guardiola to win these games. Sometimes you just need to get down to the basics, defend, stop the other team from scoring, and get your goal. And look, it wasn't pretty. Like you said there, the quality on show was a joke at times. I think the goal sums it up, innit? The Brennan Johnson goal, the fact that it bounced off Luke Shaw's arm, he kicked it, Onana's falling all over the place.
Bro, Luke Shaw's only playing because Amorim plays 5 at the back. That's the reason why he's playing. If he was playing 4 at the back, Luke Shaw might not be playing. He might play Dorgu left back.
I don't think he'd go Dorgu left back. That's the thing, though. I don't think he's strong enough.
But this is his. What I'm saying is, these are his decisions. This is your decision. You're the manager. This is your choice to do what you need to do to win the game. Or if you want to now go forward, you want to start challenging for Champions League spots, or you want to progress the club. I now know that he can't progress the club with these players. That's what I know. So what happens now? You need what, $1 billion?
Bro, this guy, how I look at it as well, this guy, you got to remember, just being a coach, right? Show me something you've coached into this team. Forget the players. Forget the player getting your players in. You got some of your players in. Show me something, innit? Because end of the day, I'm sure you can go and give say I've got a pair of trainers I can't wear, they're too small. I can still show you I can run fast. I don't need the best trainers. Bruv, show me something. This guy hasn't showed me nothing that he can do anything. These are professional footballers, bro. Like, all of these are Premiership professional footballers, and I haven't seen not one thing out of them, bro. Like, the thing with this year, you had Ten Hag, cool. You moaned about Ten Hag. He won you a trophy. He changed his tactics. He done whatever. This guy here, obviously, we're gonna wait till the summer and see who he buys. But bro, I haven't seen not one bit of anything to say to me that even with his own players, he'll get things right. There's no hope. I can't see a single shred of hope what he's done so far. I haven't, like you said, they haven't even won back-to-back games, bro. That is insane. You haven't won a game and then won the next. You haven't played this week, win, and then next week win again. That's crazy. That is how.
I think it's the first time. I'm pretty sure it's the first time Man United have done it, or a team of this level anyway, has ever happened to.
But Jules, you won last week. Everyone's running home, having a good time, whatever. And then next week you don't win. That's happened every single week. Like, and I'm talking about. I'm not even talking. You know what kills it? I'm not even talking about win then win. Bro, sometimes they lose then lose. What the hell is that? How can you lose and lose and never win and win? That's mad to me. You got a nerve, bro. He's got a nerve. Seriously, man, he's got a nerve. How dare you have that record? You should. No. If I was a Man United fan, I'll think, how dare you, bro?
Honestly. And the fact that he comes out after the game and says we were the better team, it's just shameless. It's so shameless from him, man. You've got to do better. Have some class, you know. Have some humble in defeat. And you know, I'm surprised I still haven't got like a round of applause, a clap, a celebration from, you know, like.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. Let me. Do you know what?
Some man are over here trying to talk a lot, but they've not said a certain 2 words like.
All right. Well done. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna read that. Yeah.
I need a bit more bass, like a bit more.
No, that's mad.
I'm gonna read that. Yeah. Brentford's first 11. Yeah, against Fulham last game. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. So in goes Flecken. Then it goes Coyote, Collins, Vandenberg, and Lewis Potter. Then it goes Norgard, Yarmouk, Damsgaard, Sade. And then it goes Umbremo and Wissa. You're telling me that team on paper is better than Man United's team?
Yeah, I think Man United just have better names. I think the players are better.
Are you joking?
The attack's way better. You got Sharda, goal scorer. You know, you got man like
I don't know who Sharda is.
Bumo and Wissa.
No, but he said on paper. He said on paper.
But on paper, what do you mean? What Garnacho's better than Bemo or something on paper? Is that what people are trying to say? Or better than Wissa? Like, what are we doing?
Look, no, you're saying Garnacho better than Bremo. That wasn't Garnacho. That was Rashford.
Rashford doesn't.
He decided to get rid of Rashford. You know.
Yeah, I know. The Rashford thing is.
Rashford could be.
I think, but don't we think like for the Rashford one? As much as I have cooked him for it, I do think Rashford needed to leave anyway himself. Like regardless of the manager, I think he needed a new environment. Like he wasn't.
Why? He scored the very first game that Amorim came. Amorim came and played Ipswich away, 1-1. Rashford scored.
But he didn't look like the same. Like at Aston Villa,
Rashford wasn't happy. He
got a new lease of life. He wasn't happy, man. You can
ain't gonna be happy if you make him train. If you come out and make him train away from everyone, and
the kids,
you come out and you start digging him out immediately because you think you're better than you are. Amorim came in and thought he was better than you. He thought the job would be easy, and so did the Man United fans. Because Kaz told me that Man United are going to still go for the top 4. He told me that it was. He told me when me and Dean went when he came in. He said they're going for top 4. When I had a conversation with him, he said that Amorim's the second best manager in the league, and he's
even got there yet. He was talking about Amorim beat Man City because they beat Man City. He thought when he gets there,
he's going to do the same thing, and he thought that he's better than Emery, and it'll be easier to get a team easier than Aston Villa, build a team quicker than Aston Villa.
Going mad. Mind games. That's mind games.
Yeah, the same way that people say, "Oh, Gyökeres has only done it in the Portuguese league, so how can he do it in the Premier League?" Amorim's only done it in the Portuguese league. How do we know he's going to do it in the Premier League?
Exactly. Because you ain't seen nothing. You have not seen a single thing, right? I'm not even trying to gun down Man United because I'm a Liverpool fan. I've said it before. What is going on over there? Every time I decide to watch Man United, I thought, you know what? Go on, let's have a little watch. It might be a good game. Every single time, it is the same exact thing. I don't see them making no progress. They change. Sometimes it's a whole different team I'm watching, and it's the exact same thing I'm watching. You get me? So there's nothing he's doing. I don't know what he's doing in training. I don't know what his team talks are, but it's the same. No matter who he brings in, they bring in Mason Mount now. I didn't know he still played football, and it's the same thing, bro. Like bro. It's good times for me because I hate Man United, yeah. But at some point, we've got to break it down and see what is going on there. And I don't even want no Man U to be watching us and start realizing, oh, you know, you're right. No, when you keep your manager, it's all good for you. Like,
and the funny thing is, you say that, yeah. It's so funny you say that because the whole United fan base, all they do is cuss Garnacho. All they do is cuss Garnacho. Garnacho has been probably, apart from Bruno Fernandes, he's been their best player by a country.
Exactly.
He's the only player that because he misses chances. Of course, he misses loads of chances, but he stands out in your team.
He does.
By a country mile.
He came on yesterday. He had the first. He's the one that's trying to make shots, trying to do stuff, bro.
They got this Ahmad thing, Ahmad, which obviously Ahmad's a good, decent player, but Garnacho is the only player in that team that is a danger every game.
Nah, you're going too far. To say every game is too far.
His end product. His end product is
Garnacho's okay. He's the best of a bad bunch. Let's have it right. He's the best of a bad bunch. But what I don't like is we're giving all the focus on the rubbish team. before we head out, I want to focus back on the team that actually done the business. I want to hear who you guys thought was the key player, the key performer yesterday. And I'm gonna come to Dean first before we end up wrapping up. Who was the key performer yesterday? Who turned up the most for you in the Spurs?
You know what killed it? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You see Basuna. See, I don't rate Basuna. Yeah, I don't rate him. Yeah, but he was doing stuff I ain't seen in years. Like he and you know who else I got to give credit to? Who I hate. One of the most hated players I hate more than anyone. Richarlison. I couldn't believe he was in defense, defending. He was doing everything he was doing. Right, was like obviously he's got a limited amount of talent. Yeah, but he was using everything he had, every stride of everything he had to win that. You saw how much he wanted to win that. Him, Basuna, Van der Ven, you know, all your players stood up, bro. But yeah, especially Basuma and what's his name, Richarlison, bro.
I see it as your doggy. I think it was your doggy that was there.
He was class. Doggy was class.
I think he was their main guy. And not only was he their main guy, I think it showed me two parts. One, how good they are when they're working hard, but two, how bad Solanke is.
Yeah.
Solanke's horrid.
I think he is so
bad. Did you see that?
Like, even that pass that your doggy gave him when they're through, that was a normal pass that he could be controlling.
He wasn't, bro. Do you see the one he could have gone through? And all had to be a through ball. He wasn't even running for us. Like,
he's got a couple, like when he goes up in the air, he's got a couple of good bits of strength, and he holds up the play sometimes. And I think he is going to become more of a problem than anyone else, because he's the type of guy that's in and around it. He works hard, he's in and around it, but he is not. He ain't good enough.
He's not. I told you that before.
He's not good enough. Like Richarlison, even Brennan Johnson is the type of player that will always get goals. Solanke was, to me, is just
he got bullied, manhandled by Harry Maguire. I'm not gonna lie, I was just really disappointed in his performance yesterday. But more than anything, like you said there, I think Richarlison was great. I think Basuma had one of his best performances in a Spurs shirt ever. Van der Ven and Romero were they put in, literally didn't do a foot wrong. Clearance off the line. For me, when I saw that clearance off the line, I said it in my watch, I was like, yeah, we've won the game. After that moment, you just have that final conviction that, like, yeah, today it's really gonna happen. And that's why for me, I'll give it to Van der Ven, because there was a few moments in the game where you just thought they were gonna get through, and he's just doing challenge. He's heading things away. He's cleaning up. I generally didn't see him put a foot wrong. But it could go to anyone, because the effort from a lot of the players showed was just up there. A star effort, man. Go on, Hooks.
Do you know what? Yeah, I honestly think the only person for Tottenham that played bad yesterday was Solanke. I think everyone else played. You know what? Yeah, it's not so much about like the quality of the performance or anything like that. I just think that you lot played better as a team. You lot played better as a unit. You lot took more responsibility in the game. It just looked like you guys wanted it more. Like, do you know what? Yeah, I'll put it down. There was a moment, yeah, in the game. Yeah, I think it was the first half where Porro went down, yeah, injured. He done something, yeah. And instead of lying down and I guess kind of waiting for the ref to blow the whistle, he got up and I see him hopping and hopping, run back, and like, you guys just had more heart. You just wanted it more. And don't get me wrong, I feel like the early goal, the goal helped, yeah. But I think I even said it in your watch along. Like, you guys looked the far more dangerous team. Like, I feel like you guys were so much more threatening whenever you went forward. Like, I don't feel like you ever really faced too much of a problem from Manchester United. And then obviously what you did in that second half, like, and showing that, yeah, cool, we can play in a different way. You know, we can be resolute, we can sit back, we can drop the line a bit deeper, and we can fight in our half of the pitch. Like, I think if I was a Tottenham fan, I would have been proud of that performance. I'll say that's a performance that you can be proud of, especially considering you had none of your, I guess, quote unquote, most creative players playing on the pitch either. Like, so yeah, man. I guess hats off to you, man. But
Got to grind your way to get results, and ultimately,
yeah.
look, we don't need our prime creators. Sometimes you don't need a Bergval. Sometimes, look, we go to show, injuries or not, you have to get the job done, and that's exactly what we done yesterday. So I don't want to hear about injuries from Arsenal fans or anyone, because we done it. No Kulu, no Bergval, no Matters. But Spurs are European champions.
Let's see next year if you can beat PSG.
Yeah.
At the park.
You're not getting the last word. That's right. Do you know
Let's see
what?
next year if you
I feel
can
like
beat
we forgot
PSG
Arsenal
at the
fans.
park. The Princes.
It's not.
They forgot that there was an order. We can just mute them. They forgot that there was an order. We can just mute. We're gonna end the show with an outro for me and Dean. You know, we've got a little song for you guys. Champions again, ole ole. Champions again, ole. You know what
Champions
again?
again.
That's what we're on. We're on champions again.
Unbelievable.
We are champions of Europe, and Arsenal fans are going to have to indulge in it for a very long time. But big up to everyone that's tuned in and locked in for another Soccer PM episode. We are back every Thursday, 6 p.m. Keep an eye out on Halftime Hooks' channel, FamZone TV, and Durag Diaries. Make sure you're going to be back. Champions of Europe. Spurs have done it. Arsenal in the mud. Man United. They're